Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another night episode of Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats, and Real Talk podcast, where we dive deep into Black healthcare professionals that is being true leaders in today's healthcare world. And tonight we have a very, very special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Robinson. I am co-owner of Strive ABA Consultants. I am also a BCBA, which is the Board Certified Behavior Analyst. And at Strive, we are a ABA therapy company that provides in-home and clinic-based services to children and adolescents with autism.
And that is awesome. So, certified behavior analyst. That sounds so fancy.
BCBA.
So what kind of schooling did you have to go through to get that?
So I got a master's in, I went to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign for my bachelor's in psychology.
Okay.
And then I went to the Chicago School of Professional Psychology for my master's in child psychology. And then right after I got my master's in child psychology, I learned about at that time, it was just the ABA certificate, which I had to take maybe 10 courses. It was under a year. And I did that. And so I got my certificate for the ABA program. It was a fancy way they said it. Now they have a full-fledged ABA program because it's so well known now. But at that time, it was just like a certificate that you got. And then they gave me my coursework. And then I was able to go and get my hours, which I had to get 1,500 hours to sit under a BCBA. I had to work with children with disabilities, which wasn't an issue for me at all because I always wanted to work with children with disabilities. And I took the exam and here I am.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you say that you have your own clinic. So tell us a little more about that.
So we started off, myself and my business partner, Selena Ayeri. We started Strive back in 2018. We were an in-home business at the time. And we had clients, around the Chicagoland area. This was back in 2018. Our plan was to open our first clinic in 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. So, unfortunately, we couldn't do that. So we pushed it off. Over the years, our client base grew and grew. But it always was a goal for us to open up a clinic. And so in the spring of 2022, we opened up our first clinic, which is in Oak Forest, Illinois. Then that next year, we opened up our second one, which is in Maryville, Indiana. And then last year, we opened our current one, which is in Chicago, Illinois. And that's our largest one. It's over 20,000 square feet and it is pretty much filled up. Let me have anything to do with it and filled up. So we have 3 clinics. We took a little break this year because it's just, life is lifing. But we did say starting the start of 2026, we'll resume opening clinics.
Wow. 3 clinics. 3 years, 3 clinics. That's amazing. That is super, super amazing. And so what inspired you to become a behavior analyst and specialize in working with children with autism?
So I was working as a case manager at a nursing home up north, and I was a case manager there. And it was they had a BCBA that would come out every 3 months, literally, and she would sign her name on, our paperwork or whatever. I struck up a conversation with her because I'm very personal. So I struck up a conversation with her because I just wanted to know, I knew whatever she was important. But I knew we were also doing most of her work. She was there once every 3 months. One day we were talking and I asked her, I was like, hey, what is it that you do and everything? And at that time I was in my master's program. I just asked her and she was just like, she told me about it. And she was like, it's a great field. I remember her saying you'll never have to worry about a job. You'll make decent money. And she was like, you're already pretty much there. You're already working with kids with disabilities. You might as well just look into it. So I did my research. I looked into it. And obviously I wanted to be more hands-on. I didn't want to be a VCBA to pop up every 3 months. But I also understood the importance of, what she did and everything. I knew that she went through a lot of schooling and testing and everything to get where she was. So it just so happened that my school that I was attending had a program that's specifically for it. So I literally graduated got my master's, and then that next week I enrolled into the program to where I could get my hours for the BCPA program.
Gone, girl. That is awesome. I was just about to say, so can you walk us through the journey of owning and operating not just 3 clinics, but you say they're filled, so 3 successful clinics?
It is, I think when I talk to people all the time, and especially people that are interested in starting their own business, and I'm never the one to discourage anyone. I love my business. I love what I do. But I always tell people that when you're looking to start a business, you have to prepare for the business to become bigger than you. And that's something that I think I could speak for Selena, even saying, I don't think we spoke it. I remember us sitting at the kitchen table and we picked a name and we started the Facebook page. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be the biggest, one of the biggest ABA therapy companies, there is in Illinois and everything. And we spoke it, but I don't think it was something that we knew that was obtainable. I don't think we saw where we are right now in 2025, because at that time, just going back in the field, I've been board certified for 10 years. I've been in this field for 15 years. And now it is, predominantly it's very diverse. But back in the day, it was not. I felt, even with studying for the exam, I would talk to people and I felt so alone. I felt like there was no one else in the world that did what I did, that was studying what I was studying. And nowadays, it's totally different, which I love. It's very diverse, and you hear ABA everywhere because autism is everywhere now. It's so many children that are being diagnosed with autism. So there's a strong need for that. And even when I first came into the program, they predicted it. They said by 2025, it's going to be 1 in 30-something kids that's going to be diagnosed with that. And this is before COVID and everything like that. So all of that, came true. So when we started, because myself and Selena, I met her, I actually was best friends with her sister in college. So I've been knowing Selena since I was 18 years old. When we found out we were in the same field, we would always talk with each other. And me and her both have pretty much worked for every ABA company in Illinois. Before we started trying, we worked for every ABA company in Illinois. We always call each other and just vent about just the different companies and how they were ran and how they was discriminating against us and how prejudiced they were. I mean, we've experienced a lot of just discrimination to the point where it was just obvious. And we said, you know what, we're going to start our own company. We kept saying. And for me, that was something that I talked about, but I was so scared to do, because it was like, oh my gosh, a business. I never thought about being a business owner. That's one thing I never wanted to touch. And one day someone was just like, we're going to do it. And we did it. We started it. It has been a journey. It has been a very, very emotional journey. I can say I love it. It's hard. It is. But one thing that I always tell people, it just never stops. It never stops. Business, motherhood, those are 2 things that you can't pause. You can't catch your breath. You just got to jump on the ride and just keep going.
Just keep rolling.
Keep rolling and keep rolling and keep rolling. That's the journey. So, my advice to business owners, you want to start a business, do it. It's beautiful, but be prepared for it to become bigger than you. Be prepared for it to not stop, because it doesn't. It doesn't stop at all.
You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. So what are some of the challenges? I know you said, y'all was facing like discrimination and, prejudice. So what do you think some of the challenges as a Black woman that you faced starting off, and how did you overcome them?
Just a lot of just discrimination. I mean, Black woman, being a woman in itself. People not taking you seriously, even now. So we bought our Maryville clinic, and then we're in the process now of buying our Chicago clinic. Obviously, we've been doing the clinic thing for a while, so we know the legal terms, we know what we're supposed to get, we know what we're entitled to get, and you live and you learn. But there's been experiences where we have gotten taken advantage of because we didn't know or didn't understand how powerful we were. Just in this field alone, just even being assigned clients. I remember working with clients for other companies, and they gave me all the Black kids, which was fine. All the kids that was in, the bad areas their BCBA is going to. I remember, working for a company in which I got my BCBA and I was supposed to be promoted, and they didn't want me to be promoted, and all their whole entire BCBA staff were white, So we've experienced a lot, in terms of just that blatant discrimination. I remember when I did start Strive, at that time I was on Facebook, and it was a group that assisted you if you wanted to start a business. And I think I put a comment on it. I didn't know, but unbeknownst to me, it was another young lady that works for the company I was working with. And she went and told the owner, and it ended up being this big thing. And I remember the owner told me, like, hey, you want to start your own company, start your own company. Because I remember saying, I was like, I'm not an employee here. Remember, you wouldn't hire me. So what's the big deal? I'm a contractor. So what is it to you? And I said, as long as I'm not stealing your clients or whatever, then it shouldn't be. So it's a lot of jealousy, a lot of, discrimination, a lot of prejudice. Even now, we're dealing with a lot of prejudice and just trying to buy this Chicago clinic. We're getting so much pushback because our whole team is women. Myself and Selena, our lawyers are women. We're fighting tooth and nails with the people that we're trying to buy the clinic from, and it's heartbreaking, to see. It's infuriating, but it's very heartbreaking to see, like, wow, it's still this blatant. It's still this hard, and you have to, be professional at all times because you don't want to come off as the angry Black woman. But it takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of prayer, because at this point it's just like, now I know better. Now I know, you're not going to take advantage of me, And when you see it and it's right there in your face, it's just a lot. It's a lot to kind of turn the other cheek.
Yeah. But you're doing it, though. You're doing it. And you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody stop what God got for you.
Nobody.
And nobody.
Definitely stand on. Definitely stand on.
So for those who are unfamiliar, can you explain, like, what exactly is ABA therapy?
So ABA therapy covers a wide range of services. So children with autism, every child is different. Every child with autism is different. However, autism creates a lot of deficits for children. Most of it is communication. Most of it is communicating their wants and needs. It's a lot of behavioral challenges, a lot of sensory challenges that is caused by just autism alone. It prevents a lot of children from developing in a way in which, I can't say normal, but in a way in which society feels that they should. And it kind of prevents them from, not from going to school, but being successful in academic programs or community settings. A lot of our children, with autism, they have tantrums, they have trouble following directions. It's a lot of sensory overload, so loud noises and things like that. So ABA therapy covers a wide range of all of those deficits. It works on communications, it works on speech, it works on different, listener responding, different identification, identifying things in their environment. It teaches them routine. It works on their routine. It works on adaptive and living skills, helping them with toothbrushing, helping them with bathing and tolerating things like that, and being able to not so much as get rid of the autism diagnosis, because it doesn't go away, but it helps them live up into their full potential. So right now we have like I said, all of our clinics are pretty much field. We are enrolling at all 3 clinics at this moment because we have kids that are going out. So how we will want to do it and how I try to explain to parents is, once your child is diagnosed, typically children are diagnosed between the ages of 2 and 3. Your child is diagnosed, they come to us, they receive ABA therapy. Our clinic is full day. So we have kids that are there from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, and they have their one-to-one staff, which is called RBTs, which are registered behavior technicians. And their one-to-one staff works with them throughout the day. A lot of it gets confused with school. It's not a school, but it works with just addressing their independent deficits and things like that. And then at some point, whether it's they're 5 or 6 years old, however age, they graduate to where they can go to school and then they can be successful in a school setting because with schools, it's not one-to-one. And a lot of schools are short-staffed.
Right.
When I talk to parents and they're enrolling their kid into my center, I tell them when your kid graduates from here or when we get to talking about transitioning them to school, we have to make sure that they meet these requirements. Otherwise, you're going to be calling me back in October and November asking, can you have your kid's spot back? And we don't want that. ABA therapy in a nutshell covers a wide range of just the deficits that is caused by autism and other developmental disabilities, but specifically autism.
Y'all do some amazing work. Y'all do some amazing work. And autism is so prominent now.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't really hear much of it then or really see much of it, but now it's just, do you think it's because more people is open and willing to help?
I think it's that. I think more people are aware. One thing that I can say with our parents and looking around at our parents are predominantly younger. I get more pushback from the older parents than I do the younger parents. The younger parents, I tip my head out to them. They're on it. They've done their research. They're not denying it. They see the signs of it at 18 months or, youngest 6 months, and they go get their child tested. We do intake. So when I do the intake, I always ask, is there any complications in pregnancy? Was there any complications with delivery? And I have some parents that say, they think it was this. They think it was immunizations. They think it was, food. They think it was, such and such. I have a lot of parents that their child contracted RSV or had a seizure, and then they just started to regress. So it's a lot of speculation on what specifically causes, autism. But I can say that autism affects everyone. I don't care your nationality, your ethnicity, your socioeconomic background. It affects everyone. So it's something that I feel we all are coming in contact with. Mm-hmm. So it's a very alarming, but children with autism are geniuses. They're some of the most amazing people that I have ever came across. And I tell parents that all the time, especially when they go and they get diagnosed and they hear that A word and they, it's just, you don't want anything to be wrong with your kids. You don't want anything to be different about your kids. Right. So I have parents that are, coming in or calling me and they're in my office and they're bawling. And, it's my job to soothe them and to not tell them a dream, but just say, like, this is not the end of the world. It's really not. It's just your child just needs specialized care. That's what we are here for.
I'm glad y'all here. Because I'm like, and you're doing your thing. So you're doing your thing. I hear y'all on the radio. I pass by billboards. And I'm like, this is just so amazing. Like, it really is. So what are some of the misconceptions people have about autism?
Gosh, I have had some parents that have disabled their kids more than the actual autism diagnosis. And when I say that, it's like they put their kids in this box and they're just like, oh, he can't do that. He can't do this. He can't do that. And then I'm just like, oh, no, they can. We just have to teach you how to be patient with autism, with children with autism. One thing that I admire about them is that for us, we are very easily distracted. I am so easily distracted. You have the phones, you have all the stuff you have to do. Mm-hmm. With children with autism, they are able to hone in on whatever it is that they are interested in, and they can block everything out. And that's one of the most amazing things that I have seen. And it's just getting us to understand and communicate with them and getting them to communicate with us and however way it is. So whether it's verbal, whether it's pointing, whether it's using an AAC device, like I tell parents all the time, if your child is not able to speak, as long as they're able to communicate, that's what's best. So one of the misconceptions is just the limitations that autism puts on children and parents thinking or believing that it's just the worst thing in the world. A lot of it is we get compared to schools. We're not a school. It's a lot of similarities, but it's a huge difference. What are some other misconceptions? That it's abusive. ABA is like, I've heard a lot of like, oh, ABA is abusive. Yes, we get a lot of hates on social media. I can say the history of ABA back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, a lot of their tactics that they used is considered nowadays abusive. But we have came way, way far away from that. But we still receive that slack sometimes. So sometimes I'll log into, because I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, I'll get the angry parent that's like, this is abusive and this is not helpful and everything like that. I personally swear by ABA therapy, but I'm also a mother. So I tell parents all the time, if I enroll your kid here and your kid is here for 6 months and they're not making any progress, I have no problem with calling you up and saying, hey, this may not be the best setting for your child. It's not about money. It's not about money. But as a business and with so many children being diagnosed with autism, just to be honest, I'm gonna make money regardless. That's it. So I don't have to take advantage of you
Right.
to, and waste your time and your child's time and precious time when I could just be honest. But it's very successful, especially with kids that are diagnosed and start receiving the care at 2 and 3 years old. I have staff that have autism. I have people that live regular, normal lives, that are married, drive cars, hold jobs, hold careers, and they have autism. It's not quote unquote death sentence. Is not something where you hear that word and you're like, oh my gosh, my kid will never be able to do this. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will.
Don't put no limitations on the kids.
Please don't.
So is ABA therapy still good or beneficial for like older kids who might not get the help until later on? Because depending on how they were raised, some families didn't believe in, kids getting therapy, or they just say, oh, they just throwing a temper tantrum. Oh, that's just how they is. They'll grow out of it. So for those that get help like later on down the line, is it still like beneficial or more harder for them? Or
it's very beneficial. It is harder in terms of just, especially with those who are not able to communicate. So because, and I tell parents all the time, okay, when you can't communicate your wants and needs, let's say you have a headache, or let's say your tooth is hurting and you're not able to communicate and you're 3 and you're 4 years old, you're going to do things in order to get your parents' attention or to get your caregiver's attention. When they have these behaviors and stuff like that, as they get older, those hits start hurting. A 3-year-old hitting you hurts. It does. But a 13-year-old hitting you really hurts, and so on and so on. So we, like, even now, our clinics go up to age 10. We are in the process of, we want to open up a clinic that are more catered to our older kiddos and teach them life skills and things like that, because autism doesn't stop. And we don't want to just close the door on our kiddos and say, hey, okay, you aged out. We can't do anything with you anymore. It is more difficult in terms of teaching and coming up with a routine and coming up with a strategy where everyone is on board with, especially when you have someone that for 14, 15 years, they did this and they did that, and you come and you're trying to change it. It's not impossible, but regardless if they're 13, they're 3, it takes a lot of consistency, and it takes buy-in from everyone in the environment. So we have a lot of parents that are divorced or they're not together. It's like mom is on one page and dad is on the other page. And you can see the difference. You can tell when the child walks in a clinic, okay, you was with your dad this week, with your mom this week. So I always tell parents, it takes a lot of, and that's why parent training is an essential part of our services. We offer parent training. It's a weekly parent training meeting that you can do over the phone or in person. All of our clients have that as a part of their service, because a lot of the behaviors and things happen at home. So there's a lot of things that we work on in the clinic, especially if your kid is there 8 hours a day. But things like potty training, I always tell parents, that's something that we do it here, but y'all got to do it at home as well. So yeah, so to answer your question, it is not impossible. However, the sooner you can get the diagnosis and get the treatment, the better.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, go start that clinic for them older babies.
Something that we talk about, and we come up with different ideas and brainstorming.
Okay.
And just different things, because we do have so many kiddos that are even with our company. When we started Strive, we had clients that was with us when we started, and the parents are like, "What about us?" we was with y'all, and it's like, wait, you're right. You're totally right. You're totally right. So we have like our day one friends that have been with us, and even when they go to school, like it's very emotional. Like we have a big, we call it a straduation ceremony that's coming up at the end of this month, and we're super excited about it. But like I'm walking through the clinic and I'm looking at the kid. I'm like, wow, you've been with us for 3 years now. I don't really want you to go. I'm glad. I'm really gonna miss you. But that's the goal. That's the goal. So it's great. It's very fulfilling. It's very demanding, but it's very fulfilling.
That is awesome. Yeah. Oh, the look. That's so cute. They gonna graduate. Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a dry eye in the house.
I'm sure it won't. So how do you maintain high quality of care while managing multiple teams, 3 different sites? Like, how do you manage that? How do you juggle all of that?
God. It is a lot. It is a lot. It does not stop. I call, and I'm not even just try. I feel like I never watched soap operas when I was a kid, but that's what I feel like. Is never like every Sunday, I'm just like, okay, what this week gonna bring? It's always something. And then we live in an environment or society now where I hate to say it, but people don't want to work. They don't want to work. Working, I don't know what it is about working now. But this new generation, they miss how their parents, and I get it. You saw your parents and your grandmama work for companies for 40-some years, and they just let them go, and I get it. So it's like this young generation, they are not about to work themselves to death at all. So it's very challenging. It's very, very, very challenging because, I'm in a field where I rely on my staff, and not so much as to work you to death, but we're not, you're doing something that is very pivotal. People don't play about their kids. And I tell that to my staff all the time. We have monthly meetings, and, I'm telling them, like, people don't play about their kids. When you come into a field like this, you have to be dedicated. You have to be devoted. Yes, life happens. Yes, you may not be able to work every day. You might get sick or whatever, but you have to be dependable because these kids depend on you. One of the key components of having a successful treatment plan is dependable. They rely on that. They rely on you being there and you showing up for them. So it's very challenging because, like I said, we do have 3 locations, and it's always something going on, and you have a bunch of people in one building. It's a lot of personality. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of it's a lot. It is a lot.
A lot of everything.
It's a lot of everything. So you're dealing with, just running a business, being professional, creating a professional, fair, healthy work environment for people. But you're only one person. You're only human. You can't be everywhere, So you hire people or you promote people within your company who you feel can handle this and handle that and handle this, but they're not you. And that one thing that, I say for myself and Selena is that we have worked with horrible bosses, horrible bosses. And we have been micromanaged and we've been demeaned and everything like that. So I always promised myself if I was to start a business, I would never be that type of boss. Mm-hmm. However, I do know that business, you have to be firm, and you have to be able to stand on what it is that you are telling or informing someone to do or paying somebody to do, because people will take advantage of you. They will. And I mean, you don't want to use the race car a lot, but for a fact, if you work for a different company, you wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't be bypassing all these people to come email me or message me and say, hey, I got this problem, So it's a lot. It's a lot to juggle in terms of what we thought would be the problems is not the problem at all. That's not the problem that we have. So we started trying in 2018. We thought this would be the issue. No, that's not even the issue. It's the other stuff. It's a lot, but our main goal is just making sure the morale is good in all 3 of our clinics, not just when we walk in the building, but just throughout. And just, you can't put out every fire. You can't put out, you can't solve every problem. You can't make everybody happy. That's the main thing that I had to learn and that I had to accept. You cannot make everyone happy. A lot of times, the problem don't even be about you. It'd be about like let go, let God. That ain't
let go and let God. Yeah, because you can't put out every fire. No,
you were
you will.
trying to, and we did that for our first clinic when we first opened our first clinic. It quickly we was like, no, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work
because it's gonna burn you out.
It's gonna burn.
Yeah, it's gonna burn you out.
It's gonna burn you out.
So, what advice would you give somebody who wanna be a certified ABA?
Oh, wow. Don't give up. The exam, the horrible, is one of the hardest. And I have test anxiety to this day. So taking that exam because it was so hard. And I did not pass on the first try. I'm not ashamed. But it was so hard. But don't give up. It is definitely worth it. Not so much in a monetary aspect because you will be successful in terms of, financially and things like that. And you can start your own business or you could work for this company or whatever. So, and it is in demand. So it is worth it, but just, don't give up. And make sure this is something that you want to do, and make sure it's something that you are dedicated to and you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, because if you are doing it for the wrong reasons, it will show and you won't last. But in terms of just going into the field, it's worth it. I'm a living example that it's worth it. I'm a living example that you can do it. It's hard, it's challenging, but everything in life that's worth in life. It's just hard and challenging. So I would say, take the exam, study for the exam, do your research, figure out if you want to start your own or if you want to work for a company, and, what type of company you want to have. You want to work with children, you want to work with adults, and, go from there.
Okay. So what resources or support systems would you recommend for a new parent that has somebody just diagnosed with autism?
Right. So there are a number of resources. If your child is under 3, more than likely they will have received services from early intervention services, and that's across Chicagoland. That's pretty much in every state, and it's regardless of what insurance you have, Medicaid or whatever. So it's early intervention services. There's companies like Rush, Lurie's. There's there's hundreds of companies within the city that specifically focuses on providing the developmental therapy that your child would need, and just a lot of research online in regards to autism. I would say join as many, groups online, because even for autism to be so common, when I talk to parents, they always say, I just feel so alone. I feel like I don't have anyone that understands what I'm going through. I can't take my child here, or my child can't do this or whatever like that. So, and you're not alone. I guarantee you're not alone. I guarantee you it's somebody down the street from you. That child just got diagnosed, or their child was diagnosed last year, or their child needs to be diagnosed. So you definitely have to do your research, but there are so many companies, hospitals, a lot of the big name hospitals, Northwestern, Lurie's Children, they all have specific autism centers and places that you can send your child to be diagnosed. And if they are diagnosed, on their autism evaluation is a host. Strive is one of them. Companies that you can send your child to. It's very common now, and it's so common now. Like when we first started, it was the whole thing about, okay, you can't take my clients, or you can't do this, or don't do that. Now it's so common to where it's ABA therapy companies that are helping others. So it's like,
that's awesome.
Calls from parents that'll say, hey, I just called this company and they don't have any openings, but they told me to call you guys. So and I like it, because it's no jealousy. It's just everybody's helping each other. And that's what it should be about. So it's like, if I receive a phone call and I have a parent that's like, hey, I need my child to come to your clinic, and I know that the clinic is full, I don't have a problem with saying, hey, I'm going to give you a list of 3 or 4 other companies that you can send your child to and call them around. Because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Helping the child. Right.
If they can't help you, then I'm going to send you to somebody they can.
Right. That's awesome. That is awesome. That is good. That's how I am with my patients. If it's anything, or if it's outside my scope, or if I'm not able to do it, I'm gonna help you get to the person that can help you. Yes. We don't do that competition stuff. No. No, that's mean girl energy. It don't get you nowhere, and it block your blessings. It really does.
It ain't so good for me.
Right.
On that.
Acting like that. No. So, what is coming up for you? Like anything exciting, any new projects, or anything that Strive is getting into? What is Strive having coming up?
A lot of things within the community. Well, first of all, we're trying to close on this building, so pray for me. So we can get that out.
You got it. You got it. Y'all got it.
We're doing a lot of things in the community. Our team has grown so much, not only just client-wise, but staff-wise. So we're doing things to help with the morale and like a lot of team building things.
Okay.
So we have a lot of those coming up. We have an out. I think we're going to go to Six Flags company-wide. So we're doing that. We have the graduation coming up, and we are looking at other clinics in the city, because right now our Chicago clinic is like on 114th and Western. My ultimate goal is to open a clinic I was born and raised on the West Side, so I always wanted to open up a clinic on the West Side in that area. So my goal is to start moving more into the city and offer more resources. I do want to open clinics out in the south suburbs because our Old Forest clinic is so small and it's at capacity all the time. So I do want to open more clinics there and just expanding more, building more, helping as many children as possible. Right now we're enrolling at all 3 locations because we have kids that are leaving. So this is an exciting time. It's a busy time, but it's an exciting time because I'm meeting new families, I'm meeting new kiddos. And we're just looking forward to the fall semester, our fall session starts September 2nd. So we're just looking forward to that and just beginning.
That is awesome. Yes, just put one in every city. Just put one in every city because it's needed. I can't get you here. Okay, I'm gonna get you there. Go ahead, call it. Yes. And God is going to continue to bless you, bless your business, bless your partner, because y'all are doing some amazing things. It is a shortage. And I do know a lot of people, that have children that struggle with autism. And sometimes, the parents be worse than the kid. I'm like, y'all need to be in the therapy.
I say, you know what? Not
the problem. No, there never are.
Never. Even the ones with the, high levels of behavior, high frequencies of behaviors, I can handle that. It's everything else. It's everything else that comes with running, a business and being the owner of a business. That's a lot.
But I seen the amazing things that ABA does. I mean, because I have seen children that was not talking, and now they talk too much. Which is a beautiful thing, and then you have students that do better than me in math. Like they really are some geniuses, and it just take that one-on-one that y'all offer, that extra patience, time, and consistency and support, and you would be like, that child ain't got no autism. What autism at? And you do find a lot of parents that think that this is just the end all, like, oh my God, like this is the worst thing ever. It's not. It's not.
It is not.
It's not.
And I see it firsthand. And I'm very honest with my parents. I never, I'm not going to sell you a dream. I'm going to be very honest with you. And I'm going to let you know it's going to take a lot of consistency. But it's very possible, and whatever their full potential is, whatever it is, that's what we want. So it's not, oh, well, I want them to do this, yeah. Okay, well, let's baby steps. Let's hey.
Okay.
But it's definitely fulfilling. And I love about it.
That's good. I'm glad you love what you do. Everybody need to love what they do. Yeah, because somebody got to do it, right? So before we end this episode, what would you like to leave the audience with?
Just keep God first. I know it sounds like cliche when people say, keep God first. Keep God first. Whatever it is your dream is, work hard for. You got to put the work in. It's not going to be easy, but if you keep God first, be a good person and do right by people, God will bless you. God will bless you beyond your biggest, wildest dreams, but be ready for that blessing. be ready for that blessing, because if it comes, you have to be able to maintain it. And sometimes maintaining the blessing is harder than actually getting it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's why I'm married. I'm just trying to maintain it. Lord. Oh, Jesus. So that's my advice to people.
Okay, so how can people follow you?
Yeah, so
they can be all up in your business.
Jocelyn Robinson, we have Shy88 Consultants at gmail.com. That's our main email. But social media, we are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, just Shy88 Consultant. I'm Jocelyn Robinson, so I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I think my Instagram is Jocelyn is Blessed or something like that. So here we are.
Just type in Jocelyn Robinson. And just type in Strive, because Strive is everywhere, okay? So Strive is striving, and got the kids striving, okay? So that's a wrap for tonight's episode. I hope that you found this episode shine more light on what ABA therapy is all about and how it's needed and how it's going to continue to grow and fill that gap of people and children not getting the help that they need. And I say people because the parents need the help too. So yeah. So of course you can follow me on all social media platforms. Follow White Coats and Real Talk Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until the next episode, stay great and be blessed.